So, Highland Noise Podcast, I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
Throwback Thursday, record on a Thursday, post on a Monday.
Damn straight. We've kept it up.
The equilibrium has been set.
Who's ready for it to break next week?
Yeah, I was just about to say, looking at that calendar next week, I'm feeling like the equilibrium will be broken. Things are going to be thrown off. We're not going to tell you what day yet.
Nope. That's going to be for the future.
Yeah.
That's going to be a cute little surprise waiting for you.
You got to tune in next week to find out what day it was shot on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trucking along here with Fall Out Boy's discography, jumping into Folie, Deux, their 2008 album, and the last record before a brief little hiatus from the band.
Cute little 5 years. How long were they gone? Oh shit, a brick. They were gone for a minute,
I think
right?
it was 5 years.
Yeah, okay, 5 years. That's about
That's a decent amount of time. That's half a decade to walk away. And
that's how long it's been since the fucking last release from the Bring Me to Life band, Evanescence, that we were talking about. Just a little loop back.
A little loop back to last week's episode.
So if you haven't tuned in to any of our podcast episodes, you're going to be completely out of the loop.
On a lot of things going on. Why do they give us the day of the week they shoot the review on? Why are they talking about Evanescence? Why are they talking about Fall Out Boy?
It's like a fun little thing, you know? You want to be in on the joke, you know?
Yeah. It's got to be really confusing to the people that watch this that aren't subscribed.
Who just are like, I wonder what they think about Folie, Deux, my favorite album by Fall Out Boy. No, guys, we have like a 10-minute intro.
No. You don't understand. Save Rock and Roll is going to be not shot on a Thursday. Do you understand how big this is?
This is insane, and I know everyone's going to lose their shit. It's going to be like one person who's like, oh, okay. They're not even going to comment or anything. They're going to be like, oh, interesting.
Yeah,
just
interesting. Cool. But yeah, Folie, Deux. Last record before the hiatus, and phenomenal. Dare I say, quite possibly peak Fall Out Boy.
Honestly, no, I completely agree. I do think that this is their peak. Yeah.
Like, I haven't going through this and doing this review series has been me going back to records that I haven't listened to in full in years. Like, my Fall Out Boy phase was high school, like junior year of high school, pre-pandemic. Is like I remember sitting in chemistry class, one earbud in, thinking I was the coolest motherfucker, listening to Sugar We're Going Down, and so much has changed since then with what I listen to.
Same earbuds though.
Yeah, same fucking earbuds.
Yeah.
So yeah, like my time with Fall Out Boy came and went. I obviously still love the band, but they're not a band that I come back to routinely to listen to from that time in my life. So I'm going back and listening through these records that I haven't heard in full in fucking 5 years, or even even longer than that. So it's been a trip, and I remember loving Folie, Deux and thinking I was the quirky, fun, silly one for thinking that this was the best Fall Out Boy record, and Glory probably remembers that.
No, I completely do, because everyone was like, Folie, Deux is their worst record. It was that time before everyone kind of like saw the record for what it was and how great it was. So it's just having the opinion of it's their best record. You only pick that because it's like everyone else hates it, so you just want to be unique and, you know, special. No, we've all had that.
Yeah, pretty much, because it has been recent where I feel like people have really turned a corner on this record, and everyone is now talking about how good this album is, because for a while it felt like the redheaded stepchild in their discography.
Now they have a new one, Mania. Shout out Mania though, second favorite.
But I was listening through this album, and it's hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. Like, there is seriously I'm going to blanket statement it with there's no skips on the record, and then I'm going to objectively.
You're going to tell us the skips.
Objectively, without my opinion baked in, objectively, it is 13 banger songs. Personally, I have maybe listened to this album 3 times with What a Catch, Donnie as part of the track list. The way I listened to the album, it was a 12-track record, and it went from Coffees for Closers to 27, which, by the way, those songs go perfectly together. Just putting that out there.
They fucked up. Yeah.
But, you know, I am not a fan of slow songs. Now, in the grand scheme of things, on the periodic table of slow songs, What a Catch Donnie is not super slow.
It's not acoustic.
But it opens up with that stupid piano riff, and I honestly never got far enough into the song to know. As I stated earlier, listened to this album religiously many years ago, and I just wanted to be pummeled. I still do. So I just never spent much time with that song. Hot take, sure. It's okay. I like the callbacks on it to the other hits at the end. Like I said, genuinely, like, I'm not shitting you. One of the first times I've heard the song was last night. I'm sure I've heard it in passing.
Holy shit. Okay.
Listening through the record, because I religiously listened to this album for a long time. I'm sure I heard it, but I can't distinctly remember hearing it. I can distinctly remember hearing most of these songs. I distinctly remember hearing the piano and immediately hitting the skip button and going to 27. So that's my hot take. It's a good song. We all need to grow and change as people. I grew and changed last night, finally giving What a Catch Donnie the chance it deserves.
And you saw that it's like one of the best songs on the record,
know
right?
about all that. I don't know about all that.
You'll get there.
Because there is a 5-song run to finish off this album that is one of the best one of the best 5-song runs ever, in my opinion. 27 Tiffany Blues, WAMS, $20 Nosebleed, and West Coast Smoker.
That West Coast Smoker. Okay.
Talk about West Coast Smoker. But those 5 songs are fucking phenomenal. And the first 7 songs on the album are phenomenal. The A side and the B side, take out What a Catch Donnie.
What a Catch Donnie
is phenomenal. I love the A side minus What a Catch Donnie, and I love the B side.
You're like 1 through 7, fucking crazy.
9 through 13, crazy. Number 8. Redheaded stepchild of the album.
We don't have to talk about that song. That's fucking hilarious. Wow. Okay, sure.
But listen, I love the way it opens with Disloyal Order of Water Buffaloes. I Don't Care is a phenomenal song. That's really where the album picks up. Disloyal Order of Water Buffaloes, it definitely feels like an opener. I Don't Care is a song that punches you, and then it's just hit the gas from there, and phenomenal album. All the joking aside about What a Catch Donnie, I think the song is good in the grand scheme of things. I prefer the other 12 songs on the album, which again I know is probably a hot take. Lori's nodding her head. Yes, I'll say it is.
For all our audio listeners. Oh wait, there's no audio.
Yeah, for all our audio listeners, for all the people watching this with the YouTube video minimized, Glory is nodding her head. But the last 5 songs on the album are easily my favorite. This is like peak Fall Out Boy for me. Phenomenal. Fantastic. I can use all the big descriptive words to describe this album that are positive. Those are my thoughts on it. Fucking phenomenal.
This record was one of my favorites when I did kind of poke into their discography a little bit. Granted, it was solely because one of my first introductions to Fall Out Boy was What a Catch Donnie and $20 Nosebleed. Because Brendan Urie.
Shout out Brendan Urie on this album.
On this album, he fucking ate. Like, I can't lie. His little dance interlude part on $20 Nosebleed, I would literally just replay that one part for like an hour straight until I would just get tired of like replaying it. There's something going on in here. I don't know. I'm not even joking. Like that, I would just sit there and I would just, crazy shit. I love that song so much. That's why I was looking at you sideways, because it's like, that song was my shit. That part of the song was my shit. I watched the music video religiously, and I was like, oh my god, that's Brendan Urie climbing onto the little boat that they have. Oh my god, while he's singing Dance Dance. That was my thing. $20 Nosebleed, obviously, I feel like everyone and their mother knows that song. Well, in the Fall Out Boy community,
Hmm.
that's one of the bigger songs. In the alternative community, I feel like Panic at the Disco, you most likely know $20 Nosebleed as it has the Brendan Urie feature. Insane song. That was one of the songs that I always had on loop when I was younger as well, because as soon as it came on for the first time, this was like, I think last week after we reviewed Infinity on High, I put on $20 Nosebleed because I was just excited to listen to Folie Do, and I was like, oh shit, this song is fucking crazy. But it was the last part, where it's kind of like the interlude of the guy talking about, you know me, I just like being on my own and keeping you all alone. And this, so it's like I remember being like maybe 12 or 13 and memorizing that because I would just constantly have $20 Nosebleed on loop. So it's
Hmm.
just I always like sang along to that part like it was just part of the song. When it was just I never knew because I really didn't listen to the full album when I was younger that it led into West Coast Smoker.
Dude.
So I thought they always just had this little guy fucking screaming at the end of $20 Nosebleed. So just a little thing for me. All that to say, West Coast Smoker's incredible. I think the transition is
Heard it for the first time this morning. It's awesome.
it's insane. Um, Honestly, I think it's fun that you pointed out the B side being your favorite 5-track run, when honestly it is the A side for me. The Disloyal Order of Water Buffaloes. What
Which
the
is so
fuck are you
hard to
guys
say out
talking
loud,
about?
but first time saying it out loud was 2 minutes ago.
And I started struggling because I was like, fuck, I have to say that in a second. I started freaking out in my head. I Don't Care, which was one of their biggest songs. Like I couldn't get away from that. It clicked today. I mean, I'm sure I knew it before, but it was just kind of like, fuck, this is Fall Out Boy, isn't it? They've just constantly had a big hit on every single record. Besides their debut EP, we can forget about that though. Put it to the side. She's My Winona, incredible fucking song. America's Sweethearts, another hit that I didn't realize was a hit until I was listening to it. And I was like, oh shit, I know all these lyrics. Even though I feel like, I guess I have, or maybe it was just being in the alternative scene so long, standing in Hot Topic or fucking, in between sets at a show, they're just playing music. I know majority of these tracks, and I was like, oh god damn, I didn't realize that this record was always on in the background just when I was growing up and getting into the scene. Headfirst Slide into Cooperstown on a Bad Bet is also fucking incredible. My personal favorite, aside from obviously the big songs, The Shipped Gold Standard. Fucking awesome song. One of my favorites that I discovered on this listen through, just kind of hammering in, wow, this album's incredible. Every single track is fucking crazy. I think that the B-side is incredible as well. I really like Tiffany Blues and West Coast Smoker. I think Whams is just okay. Hot take, not the biggest fan of it, especially not like the end bit of it. I feel like it goes on for too long where he's just kind of doing like vocals and he's tapping his little foot. Bores me a little bit, and it's kind of out of place, especially after Tiffany Blues and before $20 Nosebleed. Kind of stands out like a sore thumb to me, but I think it's nice that on this record and in that clip, he is demonstrating that his vocals are unlike anyone else in the scene. They are really finding their form on this record. His confidence vocal wise and their confidence just mashing genres. Obviously, this is more of a pop based record, but them being able to mash like light, this is so, I'm saying this with a fucking light ass hand. Nobody come for me. Metal ass, little hints.
That's why I
There are
like
little
this
heavy
album.
parts.
I thought I was so badass listening to this shit, to be honest with you.
Because there are heavy parts. It's like, and I went, is this fucking Fall Out Boy? What
Yeah.
the hell? So little metal elements, pop format, rock bass. It is the perfect blend of honestly Fall Out Boy's sound. I think it's incredible. This might be one of my favorite records by them now, and I didn't realize that I knew and loved so much of this record up until today. Great record. Shout out Folie Do. Fucking crazy ass record.
Shout out Folie Do. There you go. Those are our thoughts on Fall Out Boy's 2008 album Folie, Deux. I think we don't have to sum it up. The record's fucking phenomenal.
Good record.
Solid. We'll be continuing on the Fall Out Boy train here, going into post hiatus starting next week. So stay tuned if you want to hear our thoughts, because I think that this is where it starts to get divisive. Honestly, there's some albums there that I haven't heard most of what they've got going on.
American Beauty, right? Because that was my favorite.
I don't think so. I think I listened to Save Rock and Roll in full one time because someone somewhere was like, you have to listen to that album. Okay. It's the best post hiatus record.
That's just a lie. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, there's some albums where I'm going in only knowing the singles, despite being a massive Fall Out Boy fan, which is so interesting and gonna be fun. And I know what your thoughts are on post hiatus Fall Out Boy, and I know what my preconceived notions are going in. So the second half of this fun little series could be interesting.
Yeah, honestly, the podcast could end halfway through because it's like I can't fucking stand you.
I can't do a podcast with you and your opinion is so wrong.
I'm like, yeah, dude, I just love Mania. What's wrong with that? I love Mania.
So listen, if you want to see the podcast potentially crumble before your very eyes, you have to stay tuned now for the rest of the Fall Out Boy episodes. You can subscribe to us here on YouTube. It helps us out a ton. Twitter is Good Noise _cast. Instagram is Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. All your streaming services are Good Noise Podcast. Other than that, I have been Shane.
I have been Glory.
And we've been the Good Noise Podcast. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.